Why did you marry me? Do we have sex enough? You don't think my parents had a couple thoughts at the beginning, at least, that were like, oh shit, he's very old?
They could have like, oh my God, he's older than we are.
Well, I'm sure they had thoughts like that.
They probably did have that.
Oh yeah, my mom said when you love someone older, they... Howdy, Russ here.
And Chris.
Oh, he's chill. He is so chillaxing. He's got a good life.
He looks so much bigger on film.
So if you're gonna take selfies of yourself, you know, in your birthday suit, this is where you should put your camera.
I'll remember that. Good information.
See, the head looks so big. You stay, boy. They're smelt. Oh, they just spawned and died.
As such, one stream may see regular large runs of Eleutheron, while other neighboring streams sees few or none at all. Regular annual runs are common, but not entirely predictable, and occasionally a river which has large runs sees a year with no runs. The reasons for such variability are not known. The Eleutheron run is characteristic for the early portion being almost entirely male, and females falling about midway through the run to its conclusion.
At first, I would have thought there was like a chemical issue or something that killed all these fish. But they were probably just spawning. That's a shitty way to die, though. You fuck and then you die. Fievel's listening well. Fievel. You stay. That's the I-5 bridge going between Oregon and Washington. 13 years ago when you met me, did you think we would make it this far? This long, this far?
I didn't think we wouldn't.
You thought I was too young. You're like, what am I doing? I'm older than this kid's parents.
Well, when I first met, no, it's like I wouldn't even allow it to even be a consideration, really. You were not quite 21 yet.
But I was at least legal. Fievel.
I'm like a cat. I don't want to get wet.
I was saying it's cold, Daddy. Let's get in the car.
I didn't know about those fish. They're smelt. And they are native.
Mm-hmm.
And they came up here to spawn. They look minnow-like. They're smaller than I would have expected. Not that I knew what to expect. I really thought the worst. I thought there was like an algae bloom or some crap. But it's too cold for that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Candlefish, small androgynous species of smelt.
Candlefish? I'm kind of glad we got the wedding part out of the way, to be honest.
Well, we got that out of the way.
Aren't you kind of glad? So yeah, we're fortunate to be married and in the U.S. And I will embrace the change. Even though when we first got together, we could not marry each other. Straight couples, I think, do maybe start thinking about marriage faster than I was with you. Because it's not that I never fantasized about getting married. Of course, when I was a kid, I did. About marrying a guy. And I got to marry you. But there was... I was being real when I met you. It's not like I was like, oh, I like Chris. Someday maybe I can marry him. It's like, no, it wasn't an option. So I was like, maybe someday we can stay together and be a couple and be happy together. That's what it was, which maybe there was a silver lining to that. We weren't like, oh, this marriage is going to fix our problems. It's like, no, we have to fix them regardless of marriage. Oh, actually, this is a good question.
For me?
Yeah.
A question I'm supposed to answer.
Yeah. Why did you marry me?
Because I loved you. I wanted to be married to you.
Do you think the time had anything to do with it? Like what we experienced and getting over different issues and then me sticking around? You're like, oh.
Yeah, like right at the beginning, I wouldn't have like jumped in and married you. Like, oh my gosh, you weren't, I wouldn't have thought that would be a possibility. I don't guess. I didn't think about it. Well, actually, at one point I did. I guess early on, I really did.
Think about marriage?
Yeah.
With who?
With you.
Really?
Yeah, earlier on than I had. Yeah, I remember I thought I had. Yeah.
Really? You never shared this with me.
Yeah, I remember now.
Okay, explain. I'll keep my mouth shut. I want to know. Is this embarrassing? You look embarrassed.
We had conversations, and I found out he thinks a lot like I do and did, like as a young man, about relationships and wanting it to be a forever thing, you know, and not just something you play around diddly here, diddly there, diddly diddly everywhere type of thing.
And just keep on moving on to
and
the
keep
next
on
best
moving
person.
to the next best thing. Yeah. And I thought, he's actually just pretty mature thinking. And I thought,
I don't think it's mature, it's just different.
well, different. But I also thought, you know, early on, I thought, you know, my first boyfriend, I kind of just had that like idea that like you end up getting together, do stuff that means you're together forever type of thing. Because that was my folks, even though they weren't, But, the old way of thinking. So you got married and you stay married. And it's like, no, that didn't work. And like, look at, how, like, that'd be cool. Because he's like that. It'd be neat to have that with him. And for him to get to have that, something I didn't get to have, it would be fun. So, yeah, I had that early on.
That's cool. I don't know when I first had it with you. I guess my mindset, like I said, I was pretty real to the fact that we couldn't get married. So it was more just about the bond without the label of marriage or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I did start feeling something for you because first came the love. I definitely wanted to be with you long term. That was the next thought. It was like, I want to be with you as long as we can. And then it was me being logical and being like, you know what? We have to see how things work out. I'm hoping the best, but how do we work things out? It seemed like we always were able to at least talk it out as much as we could. And we never broke up.
Right.
We always stayed together. Even when we had tough times, we stayed together. And we used to be really good at going to bed not angry.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had a couple times where we went to bed angry. That has happened.
Yeah.
I don't like that, and it's happened from both of us.
Yeah.
We broke that rule. We said that was a rule that we shouldn't do, but we broke it. But we stayed together. That's the thing. Nothing's perfect. We stay together. And in my mind, regardless of the marriage or not, I'd still want to be with you. The marriage part, I think it was mainly because I wanted to secure some financial stuff, more just being able to live with you and not get kicked out. I don't want to talk too much about that, but I'm just being honest. That's a weird thing to say, I know. The number one reason I married you, because I already had the love and the bond and I was already going to stay with you, which is the most important part. Mm-hmm. The number one reason I probably married you, besides the love and all the bond stuff, was hospital stuff. Because we had a close call with your heart stopping.
Yeah.
And we made a video about it, but we had that close call.
We were fortunate. They let you be in there.
I walked into the hospital, I was crying, and they let me stand by you and talk to the doctors.
I wonder if they thought you were my kid.
Maybe.
Me in.
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. It's his dad. But dude, I was crying. Yeah, maybe they thought I was your son. I don't know. I thought, maybe we should get married, and if there was any kind of a medical issue, I'd be able to be in the hospital with you. I think that was the biggest reason I wanted to get married, because I already loved you. That was a given. If we weren't married today, I'd still want to be with you. Do you see what I'm saying? Marriage is not marriage does not solve issues. So. It does not help create family bonds. It does not help with communication.
It doesn't fix anything.
It doesn't give us more money.
Well, it kind of fixes being able to go into the hospital together.
It fixes being able to be together, and let's say I did have a medical issue with myself, you'd be able to maybe know what my wishes were better than anybody else, including my mom. Okay, do I want to be buried or cremated?
Cremated.
You already know. You can make some of those decisions. Okay,
hopefully I don't have to do that.
You never know.
I don't even
Hopefully
know about
not.
that.
Hopefully not. Okay, where do you think I want my ashes scattered? Because I do, but only if you want to. It's not like some pressure I'm going to put on you that hey, you have to keep my legacy alive. You have to scatter my ashes. Nothing like that.
I'm supposed to know this?
I don't think I ever told you.
No, I don't think you have. I do not know the answer to this question.
This is tough because there's multiple spots. You have to divide it. Probably the list will get
longer.
longer.
Make me run around, huh?
It would be kind of fun.
Just do this
Kauai.
and get it over with.
Kauai.
Okay. Is that
somewhere
illegal?
on the Nepali coast? Maybe it is illegal.
I don't know.
I guess if you just do a little speck of dust on, because
fairy dust,
it's going to be divided. There's a lot of other spots. They won't even know. Maybe the Oregon Sand Dunes. I really thought it was a spiritual spot.
Okay.
Probably a little bit for Casper Mountain.
Okay.
Because that's where I was born, that area. And Casper Mountain was the first mountain that I started exploring. Maybe Highlight. Just somewhere in Highlight. What about you? That sounds weird, but it's just something that you know. What if I did die? I'm not planning to die. I'm hoping that I don't die for a long time, but you never know.
Yeah. What about me?
Yeah,
Where would I want my ashes to be?
Yeah. And this is for later on in life, like 100 years from now. I don't want to think about that. It's harder to think about you dying than myself.
Yeah, that's the thing is
I love you more than myself.
Yeah, so I don't. Yeah, it's harder to think about you dying than me. Oh, I'm 28 years older.
I would rather die than you.
No,
That's
no,
what's
no,
crazy.
no, no,
Isn't
no.
that weird though? That's the truth though.
But anyway, can we get off this topic?
Just real quick,
So where would I want my ashes? I don't know that I really give a rat's ass.
Then that's
they
cool.
almost hit that car.
then you don't care. That's fine.
I don't know that I care. You know, I think I'd like to be somewhere in a forest, a nice forest, where my ashes end up feeding trees, and I get recycled through the trees.
That's a good one.
Not as much as I can say. They are at a very weird angle there.
So let's move back to the life part.
Okay. Yeah, let's
So-
talk about life.
We got married 3 years ago. The relationship started 13 years ago. I think I did fall in love with you pretty quick, though, I will tell you. And then when I fell in love with you, I decided to stay with you. The marriage was just icing on the cake, just a plus. But I don't feel like a victim because I didn't have marriage for those years. I'm just embracing the change. I'm just glad that we changed in this country.
Yeah, I don't feel
And-
like a victim at all now.
People do have the victim mentality, but I'm just like, dude, I'm just fucking glad that we're embracing it now.
When a
today.
problem is fixed, it's fixed. And then
Yeah.
you go on. You move on. You live with the new. That's the way I look at it.
Because you can't take back the past.
And you don't really want to go back to that kind of a past.
No.
Just embrace the new day, the new situation. It's great. Glad we're married. Glad we could get married. Glad we're legal. I would be pissed if someone tried to take it away.
Yeah, that's when I was...
Then shit's gonna hit the fan.
Yeah, I'd be pissed too.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm kind of the person that's like, live and let live, as long as you're not hurting anybody. We're not hurting anybody. We're consensual adults. I mean, we've made it 13 years. We obviously are pretty compatible. We're trying our best.
Mm-hmm.
I plan on being with you until I'm dead, or until other way around.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, hopefully it's a long time. That's why we gotta just live healthy.
I don't plan on being with you till you're dead.
You don't know.
I don't know, but
You
like
don't know. I talked to...
you gotta live longer than me.
I think I said this before, but I talked to a fellow that was a fan of our channel, and he was an older fellow that had a partner that was much younger than him that died of a brain aneurysm. Just like that. You never know.
It can happen.
It can happen.
But you're not allowed.
I didn't know that you had thought about us getting married. That's real?
Mm-hmm.
How come you never told me?
No. I thought that was what I was gonna get in life, and I didn't get it. That would be cool if you got to get it, and it was me, and I got to get that and have that experience on the other end.
I knew that you were parent worthy because I didn't want to come out as gay or any label. I just wanted to come out with, hey, this is who I am in love with, and I wanted to introduce the person and their personality. And I knew that my parents would like you, and they do,
How did you know that they would like me?
because you're a good person. I feel like almost anyone in my family would think that you were a good person.
They could have oh my God, he's older than we are.
Well, I'm sure they had thoughts like that.
They probably did have that.
I mean, we've had thoughts like that. Why would they not have thoughts? It was a process for Chris to get used to the age gap.
I had a lot more.
Why do you think
problem
my
with it
parents
than
would not
you
have
did.
that? You don't think my parents had a couple thoughts at the beginning, at least, that were like, oh shit, he's very old. Oh yeah, my mom said, when you love someone older, they come with baggage or kids.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, my mom had that thought. I did ask her recently though. She just said she doesn't have that thought. It's been so long, she just thinks of you and me. My sister thinks we're a power couple because of YouTube.
Which sister?
Ashley,
Oh, okay.
not realizing that we haven't even posted in a year.
It's like our power was drained.
It's almost like the whole YouTube channel, it did reach a lot of people, but when you're doing it, you don't realize it. Sometimes you don't really realize who watches it and what they get out of it because it's us doing it.
Yeah.
There's a disconnect. Not like we're trying to have that disconnect, but it's just kind of, some people obviously don't like us, that's fine. And then there's some people who
How
like,
could they not?
because they're from Africa in a country where it's against the law to be gay. So some people do like us though, and they watch a video and they'll get something out of it, and it'll be such a positive thing that I'm just like, really? Like, I don't get it. But people are like, hey, your channel's bigger than you know sometimes. Maybe not every video. We've obviously we've done some freaking bad videos, but sometimes that's life though. It's not like you always do
Sometimes
well.
life's like a bad video. Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes you try to do a good video and sometimes it doesn't turn out the way you want.
Oh, we've started so many videos that never made it.
especially this last year and a half.
Oh, yeah.
I have like probably thousands and thousands of videos, and I'm not even joking, of unreleased videos, and they're not gonna ever see the light of day because I don't want to take the time to edit. I don't even know what there is. It's not worth the time. Let's go down the slide. Come on. Come here. Good boy. So yeah, he sleeps in the bed with us. The first 6 months, he did not. He just was kennel trained.
But then he graduated. He got where he could stay in the bed.
I love you, boy.
He's a cute puppy dog. Man, I was just like so
Tired?
sleepy. Crazy dream. I remember having a dream, in fact. This guy, if he could tell I was gay. He said, oh yeah.
I can
It was
tell if you're
obvious.
gay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
So do we normally wear our hats when we sleep? No, but it's usually right by my bed, and I literally grab it like one of the first things I do when I wake up. You do too. You're like, where's my hat?
Especially if you get out the dang camera.
Mainly because we're lazy and we don't want to do our hair. Do we have sex enough? As our dogs?
So bad.
Just wondering. That's
Of course not. Who does that?
We did the other day, like 2 days ago.
You're not sharing that. You are not sharing that.
But yeah, we could do it more. You think it's a thing for a lot of couples? You know, after like 13 years? I bet you it is.
I think it's hard for couples to have sex if one of them is always in the gym.
Or one of them's always at, like, on the computer doing a virtual meeting.
Oh,
Or writing a newsletter for an organization.
that could happen too.
And stressing out about it. And then when I think you're done with it, I swear it comes around the corner and you're doing it for the next month. I'm like, wow, you're doing the newsletter again? Which I'm glad you're doing it. I think our schedules get off a bit. So do you still love me? After 13 years, is the love stronger or the same?
Stronger.
Cool, me too. Doesn't mean we don't have our issues. We have those days where we don't communicate, and it's just terrible.
We have a lot of failed communications, but that's not just between me and you. It's everybody.
We have a lot of good ones too. I talk to you deeper than I've talked to anybody, and I'm closer with you than I've ever been with anybody else. Ever.
Thanks for watching this video. If you've gotten through this point, you watched this a long time.
Are you feeding the birds?
I'm feeding the birds. Yeah, I've been watching the birds this morning after taking a walk, and I'm going to put out some more bird food.
All right, love
Just
you.
enjoying the morning.
Cool. If you're not subscribed and you want to, feel free to subscribe. We want our subscribers to go up, 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 up.